The Great Depression was an economic tragedy that struck America and other countries. The Great Depression affected thousands of people, left them homeless, jobless, with no way to buy food or shelter. Today, I am here to tell you what Herbert Hoover, the president at the beginning of the Great Depression, did to stop the Great Depression, and FDR, or Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the president after Herbert Hoover, still during the Great Depression, did to stop the Great Depression. First, let's talk about Herbert Hoover, the first president during the Great Depression. Herbert Hoover is often blamed for the Great Depression because people did not see much change while he was in office. But Herbert Hoover did try to help, and that is proven by the RFC, or the Reconstruction Finance Corporation. The RFC provided money to the banks so the banks could give out bank loans or credit that people relied on for everything that they needed. For food and housing, also water. But next, let's talk about the Emergency Relief and Construction Act. The Emergency Relief and Construction Act provided money to the RFC specifically for business loans. I think Hoover wanted to give money to the businesses so that the businesses could still produce products and so that the stock market would rise again. And he hoped that the people would use the bank loans from the RFC to buy that product. But they didn't, and they wasted their money in other places. My idea might be completely wrong, but I just wanted to give my opinion on this subject. The last policy from Hoover I'm going to talk about is the Glass-Steagall Act. It made bank loans easier to obtain. It also released $750 million in gold reserve for more business loans. Again, Hoover's supporting the businesses more than the people. My thought is people blame Hoover because he was supporting the businesses more than them, so they didn't notice anything really changing for them, except that their bank loans were easier. So I have noticed that Hoover supports the businesses a lot and gave a lot of money to the businesses specifically. Now let's talk about FDR and his policies. First, let's talk about Social Security. You've probably heard of it because it's still active right now. What Social Security does is it takes a little bit of the money you make and it saves it for when you retire and gain access to your Social Security fund. FDR probably created this because he noticed people would earn money and they quickly spend it all. So when they retired, they would have very little or no money to live on, and they would be too old to work anymore. So they would run out of money and be homeless with no way to earn money again. Now let's talk about FDR's policy, the CWA, which provided construction jobs to homeless people with no other ways to make money. The jobs were building bridges, roads, fixing schools, and more. This is very similar to FDR's CCC, which provided outdoor labor for small sums of money. FDR called the workers of the CCC the Tree Army. They both provided jobs to the homeless. From what I've told you, right now it's obvious that FDR focused more on the people than the businesses, providing jobs with CWA and CCC, unlike Hoover, who tried to help but had the wrong idea of focusing just on the businesses and very little on the people. Now let's talk about FDR's EBA, or 4-day bank holidays. These were days when FDR would close the banks in an effort to stop people rapidly withdrawing money and causing the banks bank runs, where banks would run out of money and go out of business. The reason FDR made this policy is to stop the bank runs and to keep all the banks running. Okay, so from what I've told you, FDR did help a lot more than Hoover. But Hoover was caught in the middle of the Great Depression and did not know it was going to happen, or he was not planning to help. And FDR did learn from Hoover's mistakes, learning to support the people instead of supporting all the businesses. And he tried to support an even amount of both instead of just supporting the businesses. And FDR went into office knowing what he was going to do. He had time to plan. Hoover came into office and then was caught in a Great Depression he did not expect, which is why he reacted differently than FDR did. So